So Humble Beast was recently formed. Can you tell us a bit about how it's doing and why you decided to found the label?
Well, basically, I just moved back to Portland. Was staying in San Diego very temporarily, and once kind of everything panned out in my personal life, I didn't want to continue running hip hop as music because I just felt like I was in a new season. I had new priorities, and I wanted to start a new chapter. So a lot of people remember I did like a press release. I was going to start a new label, Talking Textures. I was at a church service like in late February and ran into Odd Thomas, which we've met each other like 4 or 5 times over the last 10 years, but we started building on a much more personal level and realized that our visions were very similar. So we were going to support each other. He was going to support me in Talking Textures. I was going to support him in Humble Beast. Then we were like forming more of a partnership, and finally I was just like, dude, let me drop this Talking Textures thing and let's just join forces completely. And so he has like immense experience in like web development, a lot of areas which I don't have a microscopic ounce of talent in, and I have experience in A&Ring, developing records, kind of executive producing, and we just realized that our passions and our vision was similar enough that we would be stronger as a team, and just the name Humble Beast, I think I like it more than the name that I had for my own label anyway. So it was like, this is awesome, let's do it. And my expectation right now is really to just begin functioning like fluidly, getting the gears working, and we're already seeing that like slow down and continue to lay down that foundation, that we're building on top of, so that we can handle future growth and we can really do things with excellence according to the vision and not according to deadlines and cramming stuff and everything like that. So I don't know, I'm really excited. It's like it's just kind of a piece by piece, step by step thing, and right now we're just getting the gears turning, and God has been really gracious in a lot of progress happening in a short amount of time.
That's awesome, man. So like you and Odd Thomas are like co-founders of the label?
Yeah, we basically are like running the label together. Like essentially it was like Humble Beast was essentially his brainchild, and he was going to start it up, and then because I have label experience and was basically in the process of starting a new label at the same time, we're able to basically partner up and work that out. And it's been good because we've both been able to bring different things to the table based on the resources we had access to. So we're kind of co-founding, but then like everybody who's on the label is kind of co-founding with us as well. So Propaganda is playing a very active role, and Theory Has It is playing a very active role. Citizen Aim, Foreknown, basically everyone on the roster is playing a very active role in the development of the label, and we're not. It's not necessarily just artists, that are distantly. We're just putting out their records, but it's much more, the relationship based first and foremost, and kind of building a game plan together and utilizing our talents beyond music to kind of set the framework.
Okay. Now, y'all have already amassed an assortment of tight artists for the label. How did all of these like different pieces come together and get involved?
A lot of it is relationships. Portland became like really. It was really interesting, because I'm born and raised in Portland. Theory Has It moved out to Portland. Thomas moved out to Portland. Kind of all happened separately, and but then. So Theory Has It was already working with hip hop as music, and then built a relationship with Odd Thomas and was working within the Humble Beast context. And then Propaganda and Odd Thomas are like very, very close friends, so a very personal relationship. And so that was kind of built. And as I came into the fold, a lot of my close relationships from hip hop as music, guys like Othello and stuff, and already having a close relationship with Theory Has It and Propaganda, it's all like people that have kind of known each other for a long time, so it's not really pulling names out of a hat, but it's really dealing with the people that are like more of your community, and then Citizen and Foreknown, we've bumped heads into them going into Yuma, which is a city that we perform at a lot and stuff like that. And Thomas had a longer standing relationship with them, but I've also been building a relationship with them over the last year and a half, 2 years from doing shows as well. So everybody kind of already knew each other, and it's been really healthy in that sense.
That's great, man. So as far as distribution, have y'all figured out that yet?
Distribution, man, we're really taking a different approach. Our goal is to build the company in a way where we're not putting ourselves or our artists in debt. This is a very difficult thing in the status of the industry right now. It's very easy to kind of take on old models, old business models of the music industry, and try and force them to work in today's marketplace, and end up walking away with a lot of debt and a lot of energy spent in maybe not the most effective method, you know. And so right now we're trying to build a primary focus on building around our own website and our own web hub, you know, and building a thing where people can come there, they can get free downloads, free albums, they can purchase albums, they can purchase CDs, you know what I mean, purchase downloads, and just really build up a website that makes what we do portable. You know, we have the iPhone version of the website, and make it so that people can actually get it direct from us, and we can build a relationship with the consumers, but also that we can offer them more than what we could offer them if they were just buying it from a retailer, you know. So there might be changes to that in the future, but right now our primary focus is building up a relationship with the consumer where they come directly to the website to learn about and to get stuff from the label.
So you've also you were working with Syntax since 1999. You started working with Syntax.
Yeah, well, I did songs with them for Fashion Expo, you know, around 99, 2000.
So so as far as like leaving, was that a hard thing for you to do? Was it hard for them?
We've always basically had so the albums that I've put out with Syntax, I'll put it this way, I've been on almost every Night Owls compilation that they've done. I was on the Fashion Expo, featured on a lot of things. I had a group called Axe 29. It was kind of like a side project that I put out with Syntax. But then when I started Hip Hop is Music, I was kind of doing some of the stuff on my own for a while, and they were kind of rebuilding from you know, new distributors and things like that. And then we partnered back up for the IV, and we had a really successful run together with that. But we basically just have a very close relationship where we are able to work together when it makes sense and the timing is right. But also we realize in a changing industry and things like that, everybody kind of has to have multiple things going on to continue progressing. You know what I mean? And so I'm being somebody with you know, responsibilities and stuff with my family. I don't like to throw those responsibilities on somebody else's back, and so it's more like if I've got to go do some bookings or put out an album on my own and do these various things in order to work within a time frame, you know, that is conducive to my responsibilities, you know. So they still even now are doing all the digital distribution, you know, and we just have a very close relationship where we work together as often as possible whenever it makes sense. Rapzilla.com. Well, basically, I came back to Portland. This is that's my ringtone.